He called black women gold diggers. He told his own children, that he should be the last option that they are able to call whenever they need help. He didn't even want to pay for his own, I believe it was his daughter's wedding. He was a willing participant. He was a willing participant in every single thing that he did, and I don't feel sorry for him. The universe sent him signs. Cat Williams tried to warn him. He said it takes 2 weekends. Monique tried to warn him that him now, at the age of 57, shouldn't be messing with a girl that is, 36 years younger than him? And he didn't listen. And he kept it going. And now he has lost his entire...
Like you, man, y'all get to a certain age and you still like them young. You like
yeah.
You like the same age girls I like.
Okay, yeah, right.
When you get to a certain age,
I'm getting old, but my eyesight's still young.
Right. Okay, and with that, you gotta uphold a certain way because you can't be old and sloppy.
You get one or the other.
Right.
Young and sloppy or old and in shape.
Exactly. Or you're gonna get old and in shape. Women.
No. Guess you got
exactly.
So Shannon Sharpe thought he was untouchable, living out that old saying, ain't no better investor in the white community than a black man with money. And he was playing that role to perfection. But now, it's looking like karma came back harder than a linebacker because Shannon just took the biggest L of his entire career. And let's be real, nobody's crying over this downfall. Not the fans, not the league, and definitely not Monique. She's the one who warned him straight to his face. But Shannon brushed her off like she was just being bitter. Well, fast forward, and now he's the one left looking bitter while the receipts stack up. Before we go deeper into Monique's response, make sure you hit that subscribe button because this story is just getting started.
My date your age. Well, I want to date my wage. I'm finna shut all this ish down tonight. I want to date my wage.
Stay right there.
Where y'all at? Hey, chat, where they at?
Hold on. Cause I keep it on me now.
Yeah.
I keep it on me. You want to date your what?
I want to date my wage. Not my age. I want to date my wage. So where are they? Cause y'all always talking about date your age. I want to date my wage. So come on with it.
Well, you talking?
As a matter of fact, I'm taking applicants as we speak.
Well, you talking spicy tonight, boy.
Monique never held back. And this time, she's laughing louder than ever. She told people from the jump that Shannon's obsession with chasing young, flashy women was gonna backfire.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah, I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did with the shit you did to me.
And now, his whole fortune is basically locked up, funding a 22-year-old OnlyFans model's early retirement plan. Now let's really talk about this, because this has to go down as one of the biggest fumbles in history. And folks out here are saying Shannon Sharpe earned every bit of it. Monique's been clowning him from the sidelines, and now she's got the whole crowd laughing with her.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
Here's the backstory. Back in April, Gabriela Zaga slapped Shannon with a $50 million lawsuit, claiming he assaulted her multiple times since they started dating in 2023. And Monique couldn't resist pointing out the obvious. This woman is young enough to be his granddaughter. Forget dating out of your league. Shannon was out here dating out of his generation. And the funniest part, Monique said it best.
This dating thing. Because it's Mo, it's different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
What you trying to say? What you trying to say, Mo?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at your
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell you y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I know.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon.
This is the same man who trashed black women, calling them gold diggers, only to end up tricking off on somebody who could literally be his child's classmate. Now look, nobody's saying this is some straight up shakedown, but let's be real. Shannon Sharpe wouldn't even be in this mess if he didn't make himself the perfect target. And trust me, the internet was not about to let him spin this lawsuit into some sob story for the culture.
To get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week. And really, the only thing that I really ask is like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family.
Because here's the gag. He was warned over and over again. Folks told him to stop chasing those young white girls, but Shannon acted like he was untouchable. Monique dragged him for it, and she wasn't alone. Cat Williams, Kirk Franklin, Cheryl Underwood.
His attorney offered that up publicly. To me, her turning it down shows that it's not a money grab. No, it shows that it's a bigger.
Even Lil Yachty were all singing the same tune. Leave them young women alone.
Shannon Sharpe says he's temporarily stepping away from ESPN in the wake of a $50 million lawsuit accusing him of rape. A woman filed suit against Sharpe on Sunday, accusing him of raping her twice.
But nope. Shannon thought he was bigger than the problem. And now, Monique is laughing loudest. She pointed out the irony. The same money Shannon didn't want to invest in his kids, he's basically handing over to Gabriela.
Shannon Sharpe. So you guys remember that video that Shannon Sharpe was saying was going to release?
Yes,
that
did.
No.
Oh.
How do we know? Because Sis just put out a statement saying, "Today, I have decided to retire from OnlyFans. That's not love. That's a payout plan." And Monique is having a field day with it.
That's how we found out about the lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe. Now, this one has some very strong allegations: sexual assault, sexual battery, assault and battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress. The sexual components obviously give it greater gravity than a car accident or any case based on some sort of negligent slip and fall, something like that, where someone was just being careless.
Gabriela didn't just file a lawsuit. She cracked Shannon Sharpe wide open for the whole world to see. In those court papers, she laid out claims that he allegedly threatened her, got aggressive, and ignored her when she begged him to stop. According to her, what started as a consensual relationship quickly turned into Shannon trying to control every single detail of her life, even down to her weight. And Monique wasted no time clowning him for that. She reminded folks this is the same man who used to brag about being a ladies' man. Yet here he was, trying to micromanage a 22-year-old like she was one of his football plays. To make matters worse, Gabriella claims he was passing around her private videos to his boys, even after she told him she wasn't cool with it.
That's how we found out about the lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe. Now, this one has some very strong allegations: sexual assault, sexual battery, assault and battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress. The sexual components obviously give it greater gravity than a car accident or any case based on some sort of negligent slip and fall, something like that, where someone was just being careless.
The moment Gabriella's lawsuit hit, Shannon tried to flip it, calling the whole thing a shakedown. He even came for her lawyer, Tony Busby, accusing him of targeting him just like he allegedly went after Jay-Z. But Monique couldn't resist the punchline. Funny how Shannon called black women gold diggers, but now he's the one screaming about being shaken down. Gabriella dropped her goodbye note to OnlyFans like she was retiring from the Hall of Fame. She thanked her fans, promised new projects, and told the world she was moving on to her next chapter. Sweet words, right? But everybody knew what that really meant. Shannon Sharpe just funded her early retirement plan, and Monique wasted zero time clowning him. She reminded people that Shannon once puffed out his chest saying he'd never settle, and he was fighting to the bitter end.
Reports that video will not be released. Attorney Tony Busby came out and said that they are not planning to release that video, how they were dropping audio, because it's a very strong point of their evidence in this case, and they're going to keep it and use it as such.
Court.
Yeah. Now, that is interesting because Shannon Sharpe, remember, he kept saying he believes the video was going to come out. He believes the video was going to come out. So there's been a change.
Well, the bitter end came fast because now Gabriella is out here planning her next ventures, with Shannon's money lining every step. Word on the street is he agreed to cut her a check for $23 million. Let that sink in. That's more than he earned in his entire NFL career. And Monique couldn't resist pointing out the irony.
Sean Watson cases where there were 20 plus plaintiffs and they weren't really sure who the people were who were making the claims. In this case, Shannon Sharpe knows exactly who it is because there had been, and it's clear from the statement issued by his lawyer, Lanny Davis, there had been some pre-litigation efforts to try to resolve.
So, you made millions catching footballs, just to fumble it all to a 22-year-old who caught you slipping. As if losing $23 million wasn't a big enough L, ESPN came through with the knockout punch, cutting Shannon Sharpe loose from his $50 million contract the moment news of his settlement hit the press.
It's a claim against someone alleging that some rights were violated, and in most cases what's sought is compensation in the form of damages to make up for whatever it is the person did. And there are all sorts of civil lawsuits, car accidents, defamation. We hear about that a lot because people get sued about things that are said about them in media.
And the wildest part, Shannon swears ESPN didn't even give him a warning. He really thought he was about to stroll back into training camp season like nothing happened. Instead, he got handed his walking papers right when his own brother was being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Talk about bad timing. And you know, Monique couldn't resist twisting the knife. She joked that Shannon fumbled the bag harder than any play in his NFL career. Because, let's be real, Gabriella didn't just cash out. She basically handed other women a playbook on how to run the same game.
I've never seen anybody handle a situation worse than Shannon and his team. Like this is, they just handled it wrong from the beginning, from the whole beginning.
Yeah, well.
Monique flat out said, y'all think Gabriella was the only one? Please. Shannon out here with a whole roster of barely legal girls. She just happened to be the first one to turn it into a payday. Now, the streets are watching to see who's next to follow that blueprint. and Monique is front row, laughing the loudest.
Seen some of my competitors and peers get on that same court and do a performance that involved my name. And so once 6 or 7 of you have made this same violation, it's my job as the king to show up and chastise thee. This is my job.
And just when you thought Shannon couldn't take another hit, boom, he gets slapped with yet another $20 million lawsuit, this time for libel and defamation. A woman named Jim Alita Tillman.
The routine was that Shannon, then they would.
Why was that relevant?
Claims Shannon and his partner Ocho Cinco wrecked her personal and professional life when they spread rumors about her being married and going through a divorce, all because of that viral Usher concert clip. At this point, insiders say Shannon is worn down from all the lawsuits and just trying to throw himself into his podcast. And honestly, that podcast might be the only steady income he's got left until he can sweet talk his way into another deal.
When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
But Monique, she's having the time of her life roasting him. She said Shannon ain't building generational wealth. He's out here handing out generational wealth like party favors.
Essence from Atlanta, him refusing to look at the evidence just gives me the impression that he wants plausible deniability, and maybe the evidence should be released so that way he does not deny his actions. I mean, if that was me, I would definitely want to look at the evidence to see what I did and did not do so I can maintain my innocence.
First Gabriella, now lawsuits piling up. Shannon's career bag turned into a community fund, and Monique is laughing louder than everybody else. The wildest part about all this, Monique keeps pointing out how stingy Shannon was with his own family, especially his kids. She joked that God sent him a young woman to take it all back since he refused to share his blessings at home. ESPN looked at the mess and saw exactly what Monique had been saying.
On Easter Sunday, a lawsuit was filed in state court in Nevada against Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharpe because he has become such a massive media star, especially in the past few years. The lawsuit is going to attract.
Shannon is irresponsible and a liability, period. And now he's paying the price for his lack of discipline every single time. Monique reminded folks how Shannon reportedly agreed to pay Gabriella $23 million. But when it came to his own daughter's wedding, he capped her budget at $30,000 and told her to serve spaghetti. Imagine that. Decades of hard work and grinding just to create generational wealth for somebody else's family. She laughed hardest at the irony. Shannon spent decades climbing the ladder to earn that prime ESPN spot, only to lose it all in under a year chasing youth and attention. If this isn't the perfect lesson about what happens when you ignore wisdom, what is? But what do you think? Did Shannon Sharpe bring this downfall on himself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button, share this with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more.